watching Shalom World News. I'm Rory McLennan coming to you from Glasgow, Scotland. Here are the latest headlines from around the world. The Catholic bishops of war-torn Ethiopia have expressed solidarity with people affected by the conflict in the Tigray region. The episcopal conference said in a statement that it is not too late to bring an end to the violence that has killed thousands and displaced more than 2 million people. The prelates said the only way forward is through peace and reconciliation. They also said they are praying for peace and stability in the region, as well as for the protection of all people. Tigray has been in a state of civil war ever since Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed started an offensive against rebel troops in November of 2020. Last month, the United Nations had declared that parts of Tigray are experiencing famine, and more than 400,000 people are in dire straits for want of food. Releasing 2 reports concerning its finances, the Holy See has said that the coronavirus pandemic had a negative impact on its coffers. The Vatican revealed that the Roman Curia had a deficit of €66.3 million, which corresponds to $78 million in the consolidated budget for 2020. For the first time, the administration of the Patrimony of the Holy See, also known as APSA, that takes care of the properties and investments of the Vatican, has released a summary of its annual budget. Bishop Nunzio Galatino, who heads the APSA, said the budget synopsis was a step forward towards ensuring transparency. The bishop said the dip in income was mainly due to the changing behaviour of the securities market during the pandemic, as well as from the need to reduce the rents of businesses that were forced to remain closed during the COVID-19 lockdown. French Catholic Association L'Œuvre d'Orient, that serves Eastern Christians, will donate €3.6 million to Caritas Lebanon to finance 355 Christian institutes and 6 Catholic universities in the crisis-hit country. This was announced during a visit of the association's delegation to Lebanon on July the 21st. The fund will help the reintegration of 120,000 children who have been unable to attend classes for the past 2 years. The aid will be distributed by the General Secretariat of the Catholic Schools under the supervision of the Assembly of Patriarchs and Catholic Bishops of Lebanon. The economic crisis of the country has increased the gap between the poor and access to quality education. Many families cannot afford to buy educational materials or send their children to school. Since 2019, there has been a massive dropout from schools. Poland is one of the few countries in Central Europe where Catholics are a decisive majority, and the recently published official yearbook of the nation has figures to show as much. As of 2020, the nation of 38.2 million people has as many as 32.4 million Catholics, according to figures in the concise statistical yearbook of Poland that was published recently. According to the yearbook, 32,440,722 Poles belong to the Roman Catholic Church, and they are spread across 10,256 parishes. In the nation where vocations are thriving, there are 30,489 priests, including 65 from the military ordinariate. The Greek Catholic Church has 55,000 believers in 126 parishes, and there are 85 priests to take care of their pastoral needs. The Polish Orthodox Church counts over 500,000 believers, and they are spread across 249 parishes. The Russian foreign minister has urged the world community to intervene in order to put an end to the persecution of Christians in the Middle East and North Africa. In a television interview, Minister Sergei Lavrov stressed that the Christian population is suffering from the Syrian conflict, adding that the nation is one of the cradles of Christianity. The minister said the Foreign Ministry and the Russian Orthodox Church have undertaken joint projects, and one of them is to protect Christians in the Middle East and North Africa. Mr. Lavrov also said a special forum is held to support Christians, and it is jointly organised with the Department of External Church Relations of the Moscow Patriarchate on the sidelines of the events of the Organisation for Security and Cooperation in Europe and the United Nations Human Rights Council. Following the recent bouts of unrest in South Africa and Eswatini, Women Religious of South Africa hosted an online day of prayer seeking peace and healing. The Day of Prayer was organised by the leadership of Conference of Consecrated Life in Southern Africa in association with Radio Veritas. Prelates, priests, religious brothers and nuns, as well as lay Catholic groups from South Africa, Botswana and Eswatini took part in the initiative virtually through scriptural readings, reflections, prayers and sharing. So said Sister Nkosazana Shibambu, a member of the Companion Sisters of St. Angela, who is the president of the Leadership Conference. Following the imprisonment of former South African President Jacob Zuma, there was rioting across South Africa, coupled with widespread looting. More than 300 people lost their lives in the violence. In Eswatini, there were clashes between police and pro-democracy protesters, leaving 40 dead. Archbishop Tarcísio Isao Kikuchi of Tokyo has been elected as the new Secretary General of the Federation of Asian Bishops' Conference, or FABC. Archbishop Kikuchi replaces Bishop Lee of Macau, who tendered his resignation because of his busy schedule. The Japanese prelate is a member of the Society of the Divine Word and had served as a missionary in Ghana for 13 years. After his return in 1999, he was named Bishop of Niigata in 2004, and he became Archbishop of Tokyo in 2017. Earlier this month, he was elected President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Japan. The FABC, which covers 3 regions of Asia, celebrated its Golden Jubilee last year. The Holy Father has expressed solidarity with residents of Henan province in China, which is reeling from torrential rains and flash floods. Pope Francis said on Sunday, July the 25th, that he is praying for the victims of flood and their families. The number of victims is on the rise and more than 3 million people have been affected. The government has evacuated 376,000 people so far. Video footage on social media shows subway passengers desperately struggling to free themselves from flooded cars, as well as avenues turning into rivers. Separately, the Holy Father also gave his benediction to the organisers, athletes and all who are involved in the Olympic Games in Tokyo. Recalling the opening of the 32nd Olympiad in Tokyo, the Pope said, quote, "In this time of pandemic, may these games be a sign of hope, a sign of universal brotherhood marked by a healthy spirit of competition." And those are your latest headlines. Do join us again tomorrow. In the meantime, you can visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.